Right, so if you want to run an AI agency in 2026, there is something you need to understand before you start. Because 2026 is going to be a very different game than 2024 or 2025. The window that's open right now is not going to stay open forever. And here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. It's not about how hard you work, it's about what you actually work on. I've seen people way smarter than me, way more technical than me, grinding 80 hours per week and struggling to make real money in this space. And I've seen guys who barely understand ChatGPT make 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 per month just working a few hours per week. And when I started looking at what separates these two groups, it came down to a few things that they were doing completely different. And I want to share that with you today. So the first thing, and this is probably the biggest one, is understanding what game you're actually playing. Because I see so many people get this wrong. They think AI is the business. They think they need to become an AI expert or build the next AI service to actually sell AI services. And that's not it at all. If you think about the internet back in the 90s and who actually got rich during that boom, it wasn't the people who understand how the protocols work, nor the network engineers. They're still broke nerds. The people who got rich were the ones who understood that the internet wasn't the business, it was the infrastructure. Amazon didn't make money by being on the internet. They made money by using the internet to sell books. And Google, the one that everyone knows, didn't make money teaching people how the web worked. They made money organizing information and making it useful. The internet was just the infrastructure that enabled new ways of doing business, and AI is the exact same thing. AI is the infrastructure, not the business. For instance, I've got a client where I've generated over 2,000 qualified leads using an AI systems. I've also set it up so that they can produce a month's worth of content in about an hour. AI is the infrastructure, not the business. So for example, I've got a client that I've been working with for about 18 months. We set up an AI system to generate them leads from LinkedIn. We also set up a system that they can produce content by filming for about an hour, like a video like this, and we dice it up and then we create 30 pieces of content to go out the next month. And we've also set out that all appointments and bookings get followed up, confirmed automatically. That is the power of AI. It's solving the problems that the business owner actually has, not creating some useless workflow or useless system that they don't actually have a problem for. See, I'm not selling them AI. I barely even talk about AI with them. I'm selling them leads, booked appointments, and I'm selling them their time back. AI is just the invisible thing underneath that lets me deliver all these results. And that's what a lot of people miss. Your clients, the roofer, the home person, the lawyer, they don't care about AI. They don't wake up in the morning thinking about AI. All they care about is their problems being solved. They care about making more money and having more time. AI is just how you deliver faster and better than the old way of doing things. And this connects to something else that I've noticed. A lot of people in this space have this belief that it has to be hard. Like if it's not painful or it's not complicated, it's not real. And like, I get where that comes from. We've been taught our whole lives that struggle equals success and you have to grind and you have to do all these things. You have to be the next Hormozy. And if you don't bleed for it, you didn't earn it. And look, I like hard work more than the next person. And I'm not saying things are easy. Nothing worth doing is completely easy, but there's a difference between something being difficult and something being accessible. And that's a key distinction that's very important for you to understand. And I think a lot of people make this way harder than it needs to be. The way I like to describe it is like building IKEA furniture. You're not cutting down the trees, taking it to some processing plant, painting it, doing all those things. You're not a construction person. You're basically just following the instructions. You go to IKEA, you buy it, you take it home, you get the Allen key, and now you have a chair. And that's the thing, the tools and the systems already exist. You just need to know how to configure them and put them together for your client. You don't have to be this big developer. And by no means, I'm not a developer at all. I just understand what tool solves which business problem and get paid for it. And when you think about it like this, it becomes a lot less intimidating because you don't need to be technical. You just need to understand how to use what's already out there and make it work. And I'll be honest with you, it would feed my ego to sit here and tell you that I work hard smarter than everyone else, that I'm grinding 18 hours a day, and that's why I've been able to build what I built. But I'd be lying. I've got a client that's paid me over $137,000, and I maybe work 2 to 3 hours a week on that account because we've got systems that do the heavy lifting for us. And it's not because I'm smarter or more talented, it's because I figured out how to set things up in a way where I'm not trading my time for money anymore. And you see, in the past, in the gyms, I used to do that. And I've really made the shift because most people in this space are stuck in the grind because they're still trading their hours for dollars. Every new client, more calls, more follow-ups, more meetings, more SOPs, more. And then there's the revisions and all the stuff that goes with it. But when you start thinking about building systems, when you start thinking about leverage, everything changes. Because now it's not about how many hours you can work, but it's about how much value you can deliver in the system that does a lot of the work. And AI lets you deliver a lot of value without you being the bottleneck. And that's the whole game. It's cheaper for my clients to pay me than it is for them to hire 10 employees to do lead gen, to do follow-up, to do content, to do appointment booking, to do all of those tasks that they're already doing. And that's not because I'm doing something incredibly complex. It's because I built the system that runs without me needing to be there every second. I've created leverage in the business. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the tools, because this is something I see people mess up constantly. They'll open up ChatGPT or Claude or whatever and try to use it for everything. They're using the same tool to write emails to their mom as they're using to try to build a business, and that messes up the memory and you get really terrible outcome. If you're doing that, you wonder why the results feel off. And it's like, of course they feel off. You're using a butter knife to cut a steak. It just doesn't work. And if it does work, you're gonna be grinding out, like laboring away for hours. And I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's slow, messy, and frustrating, and there is a better way. Where if you use the right tools, you just cut clean through. If you have a sharp knife, it just cuts straight through the steak. The way I look at it, general tools are fine for general things. But if you're trying to build something specific, you need specific tools. Tools that were actually designed for that outcome. And when you find those, the difficulty just drops. It makes your life so much easier because they eliminate all of the guesswork. And you don't need to become an expert in 15 different things. All that you need to do is find the tools built for what is the thing that you're trying to accomplish and what problem that you're trying to solve and what outcome you are trying to create. And look, I know some people watching this are thinking, okay, but I'm late. The opportunity has passed. Everyone's already doing this, and I want to push back on that because most people don't realize that we're still incredibly early. They know they should be doing something with it, but they don't know what. They feel overwhelmed by it. They're scared of being left behind, and they really just don't know where to start. But I want to make a promise to you, you are not late. The window is still wide open, but I will say it won't be open forever. Even from when I started this 2 years ago, there's so many more people in the AI, in the automation space. And in a few years from now, everyone will be using those tools. It's just like everyone is using the internet. But at the start, you had the leverage, you had the arbitrage, you had the time to actually get outsized return. And in 6, 12, 24 months from now, when everyone's using the tools, the advantage will disappear. That's why moving now matters. Not because you need to rush and do something stupid, but because the gap between people who get this and people who don't is still massive. And you can position yourself on the right side of that gap if you act while the window is still open. And I think about this a lot. We are living through what is genuinely one of the greatest opportunities in human history. And I don't say that lightly. The playing field has never been more level. Like, you can't be an AI expert with 20 years of experience. If you're a young guy just starting out, or you're a guy with experience in another industry, you can still be an AI expert. And this is what I looked at when I became an AI growth consultant. I'm an AI growth consultant. I've been doing this for a few years, and I've got business experience from other things. So what you need to understand is you don't need a ton of money, fancy credentials, or even know the right people. You just need to understand what's happening and be willing to move on it. And that's super rare. most people will keep treating AI like a novelty, keep using it to write their grocery lists or plan for a holiday or do really tacky birthday celebration messages with those M dashes, which are gross. And then in 5 years, they'll look back and say, I wish I had started earlier. And if you want to be that person, be my guest, no judgment. Just know that the pain of regret is much harder than the pain of discomfort. And I want to be clear about something. I'm not sitting here pretending I'm some genius who figured it out. I got lucky in a lot of ways. I was exposed to this stuff early. I had people around me who understood it and understood how we can make money from it. So timing played a huge factor, and I'm genuinely grateful for that. But the thing I learned that actually made the difference are not complicated. It's just most people aren't paying attention to them. They're too busy grinding and hustling, making things so much harder than they need to be. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting into the AI space, or you're already in the space and not seeing the results, I just want you to take a bit of a step back and think about what game you're actually playing. Whether you're using the right tools or you're just trying to make it much harder than it needs to be, and like whether you're building leverage or just trading time. You build leverage by creating systems, and that's the most important part. And think about the fact that the window is open right now, today, and it won't stay open forever. So if you want to see exactly how I'm doing this, I put together a free training that walks through the whole thing. The exact systems that I use, the blueprints, how I find the leads, how I close the clients, what I actually offer that businesses will pay $5,000 to $15,000 for without needing to code, without needing to hire a team, and without all the complexity that usually comes in running a business like this. And this is the same process that many of my students have used to close their first $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or even $20,000 deal. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. Go in, check it out. That is all I've got today. So I will see you on the next one.